When you are asked to design a language curriculum, will you be dazed and amazed not knowing what to do? This video clip will introduce what the language curriculum is and help you to design your own version. Language curriculum is an overall product of planning, developing, implementing, and evaluating teaching activities. It is basically composed of 5 parts, including students' needs analysis, goals and objectives, materials, teaching, and assessment. Thus, to design a language curriculum, there are 5 steps for you to follow. Step 1. You need to conduct students' needs analysis. To satisfy students' language learning needs, all related information need to be connected and analyzed, which includes English language proficiency, native language literacy, previous schooling, prior knowledge, learners' expectation from the course, and learners' needs for the target language. In the process of gathering information, 5 types of questions should be asked. Problem. To identify the problems that are being experienced by the target students. Priority. To identify what students consider the most important to learn and why. Abilities. To identify what strengths and weaknesses students have. Attitudes. To identify students' feelings and attitudes toward language study. Solution. To ask any cultural, linguistic, family, interest, and other questions that help the teacher understand how to frame teaching. Step 2. You need to write clear goals and objectives. Goals are general statements of learning outcomes, while objectives are specific statements of attainable lesson outcomes. After students' needs information is gathered, you need to define the goals and align the goals with English language proficiency standards. Then, break down the goals into objectives. Attention! While writing objectives, both content objectives and language objectives need to be addressed. Step 3. You need to prepare for teaching materials either by adopting, adapting, or developing. You need to know clearly about what students should learn and what materials will help support your teaching most. In this step, you need to choose proper textbooks for students, worksheet for practice, and select useful equipment to engage students in your teaching. Step 4. You need to present teaching in an effective fashion. Based on the teaching objectives, first, you should think about how to activate students' prior knowledge for the new information. Second, you need to consider what teaching and learning activities are useful for acquiring new information. Finally, you need to provide students opportunities to practice and refine the knowledge and language. Step 5. You need to plan for assessment. You need to think about what forms of assessment you want to use and when to use. Remember always to link assessment to your instruction, which means you need to assess students what they have learned instead of what they haven't learned. Focus on what the learning process rather than only with an eye on the learning outcome. That's to say, students' motivation, attitude, learning, performance, and achievement shall all be taken into consideration. Following these 5 steps, an effective language curriculum will be produced.